Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 181, and we are off for the day. We are on our way to our first casino. It's approximately 4 hours from home, so we're going to sit back and relax, take care of some other business that we have going on, educate ourselves, do work, do all that kind of stuff on the way there. This morning I'm going to have to stop for fuel in a couple hours, and then be able to continue on my journey from there. Last night when I was on my way to the poker club, I noticed that my air conditioning was starting to stop working, and for the rest of the day and on the way home, it was almost non-existent. I could hear a clicking in the car on the driver's side in the dash. And according to AI, most likely that is the blower motor or the fuse. So, let's see here. Likely the blower motor, blower resistor, or a wiring issue. So I'm going to check the fuses, and hopefully one of those will be the issue, and that'll be nice and easy to fix. If not, then we are taking this car to a guy this evening. We'll leave it with him through the weekend, and I will use my wife's car. We will use that tomorrow and Sunday, and hopefully have my car back on Monday, and my wife can use my mom's car. So hopefully all that works out. Still have not heard from the car dealership about the car I want to lease. I just don't understand how these people make money. I don't get it. I really don't. So I will be texting the manager this morning and seeing what they have to say, and that will be my last message to them. We'll move on to another car if that doesn't work out. So today is going to be a nasty day as far as weather. Not going to be any rain or anything like that, but the temperature is going to be ridiculous. Right now it's 65 degrees, and the high for today is going to be in the 90s. The heat index today is going to be between 100 and 104. So 92 for the actual temperature, heat index 104. It doesn't even say 100 to 104 anymore, it just says 104 according to the Weather Channel. So I did take my wife's fan. She has a little fan in the bedroom. It's like a 4-inch little fan, and that's USB. I plugged that into the car, and I'm using that, and hopefully that'll get me by for today. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. On our way to the first casino, setting up our work computer and everything. Should get to the first casino about an hour and 20 minutes before the shift changes, so we could probably get one session in of blackjack before the shift changes, and then hopefully 1 to 2 sessions after the shift change, and we'll see what happens. So yesterday I did play a side bet that was beatable, that I've never heard of anyone playing before, or even talking about before. I did do my calculation on that, and I figure that should be a beatable side bet every around 10 hours, maybe slightly earlier, slightly later. During the overnight, obviously there's going to be less play, so it's going to go a little bit slower. It might be 12 hours, but that should give us at least an opportunity once a day to try to hit that. Lots of times it never gets in range because it's hit before it's in range, but we'll see what happens. So keep an eye out for that as well, and depend a little bit more on that since we have less sessions every day now. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. I am a few minutes away from my first casino, and I was just thinking, I'm putting in more and more sessions in the same casinos, and I'm worried that it's going to stress those casinos and cause problems faster, but that's the only thing I have right now. So we'll see what happens. We're going to try to hit them for more each time, but when I'm sitting at a table with 3 other people and they're all playing side bets and they're dealing slow, it's really hard to justify that EV on that table. So hopefully we have some better opportunities today than we have lately. But anyway, yeah, getting close. It's been a long and hot drive. I have that little fan in here, but it's still about 80 something degrees in the car right now. Getting closer on what the problem might be, and we might be able to fix the problem before we take it into the guy today. So we'll find out. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. It is 3.5 hours later, so not bad news. It's just I decided to stay in there after my first session instead of coming back to the car. So a lot of things happened today. So for one thing, we did have another meeting at work for everybody to discuss what's going on with the economy and all that. And basically, they're concerned because they work with a lot of places that get government funding who are basically not treating people the same based on race and sex and things like that. So the government is finding them money. And because of that, they're buying less stuff. So it all goes down, right? So instead of doing the right thing, they pay the fine and they keep doing the wrong thing again. So that's fine. But because of that, we are worried that the tide might turn and things may not be as good anymore at my job. So because of that, they laid people off early, even though they didn't have a cash flow problem, they didn't have a money problem, they didn't have a customer problem, but they laid people off early so that they don't have a problem later on, which I think is not the greatest thing, because they have people retiring. So let people retire and don't hire new ones. But when you get rid of people, all you do is make things worse. But anyway, what do I know? I only ran businesses my entire life, except for the last, 8 years, 6 years. So what do I know? Only had as many as 300 something people working for me. I probably don't know anything. Anyway, I go in, I'm looking around, and they're doing a lot of renovations and stuff. I find a table. I sit down. Well, first I had 2 tables to choose from, and that's always fun. So I sit down at the first table, start playing, buy in for 500, lose, rebuy, lose, and next thing you know, I'm in for 1,500, and running count is like minus 17. It's like minus 4.5 true count or something, minus 4 true count. So I decide to take a walk. But the other table is right there. There's still nobody there. And actually, it's funny because someone sat at my table right as I was getting up, and he bought in for 1,000, and he was gone in no time. I mean, he lost so quickly, and that's going to happen because you're going to stay on those 14s and 15s against the 6, and the dealer's going to draw 7 cards and catch up with you. So that's why we don't play low counts if we can help it. I switched over to the other table. Ended up losing that 1,500, the rest of the 1,500, and rebought for another 500. So I was in for 2,000. Played there for a while. Had a couple bad shoes, and then things started turning around a little bit. And finally, I ended up leaving on a negative count, plus 500. So plus 500 there. And then I was looking at some slot machines, and I found one. I was ahead like $70, $60, somewhere in there. And then I was going to go back to blackjack, but there was a shift change happening, so I stayed away from that. So I'm like, well, I want to earn some money here, so how am I going to earn money? So I decided to go play some poker. So they have 1-3 no limit. So I sat down. I had cashed out most of my chips. I still had a $500 chip. I cashed that in for 300 in chips and 200 in cash. Bought in at the 1-3 table with 300. And honestly, you could make a living off that table specifically with those players. At least 2 players were flashing cards when they were folding them. So, I mean, it wasn't affecting them in any way, but I was seeing what they don't have. So, yeah, I mean, I can't think of a situation where it helped me out, but it doesn't hurt to have information anyway, right? So, I played there for a while, did pretty well, all small hands. I had pocket aces at one point, and there was $6 in the pot. I raised 6 more. I made it 6. I got 1 caller. One of the 2 people folded for $3 more, and ended up winning that, of course. I had pocket jacks and lost that one to a king on the river, which I folded, and he claimed he had it, which I believe him. And that one was a little bit my fault too. I probably could have been a little bit more aggressive on that hand when there was a 9 high board. But overall did okay. Ended up leaving ahead 101 on the poker. And then I go back to slot machines, earn like another $20. And then I go back to blackjack and have a long session at blackjack spread out over 2 tables. And the first one, I sit down, it's the end of a shoe, I play a couple hands of shoe, and no, actually that's not what happened. Not on that one. What happened was, there were 3 people at the table, 1 gets up, there's 2 people left, and they're at the end of a shoe, and I'm like, okay, I'll just sit down and wait for the shoe to end. Well, one of them busted, and he ends up leaving. And the other one is down to like no money. I'm like, oh Lord, he's not going to make it to the end of the shoe. So finally he ended up losing and leaving, and I ended up sitting down there, played a couple hands, and ended that shoe. And then this guy comes over with his wife. It's his 83rd birthday today, 83rd birthday, and God bless him, he bought in for $200. Me and my wife were talking about this recently. When people say God bless them like that, it's not always a good thing, right? That means, like, you know, anyway. Those who say it know what I mean. But anyway, he had no clue what he was doing. He was betting the side bet every hand, and he didn't know how to play the blackjack hand. 83 years old, doesn't know how to play blackjack. He has to get help every hand, stays on soft 17, doesn't want to listen, all these crazy things, and he's winning. And by the time I got up, he was ahead like 150, 180, just betting $10 hands and $15 hands. And I was down 450 when I got up and went around to the table on the other side, which a girl had just left who I knew, and she doesn't know how to count. So I go sit down there and start playing, and I'm like winning, and but the count's going down, winning, going down, winning, going down, and I end up combined between the 2 tables ahead $50. So only 50, but I was there for quite a long time, so decided to get up from there. And then I went back to slots, played a couple, and overall for slots combined, I ended the session ahead $261. So where are we at here? 263, 10, 410, $910. Not bad. So yeah, overall decent, plus a total of 550 on the blackjack, plus 101 on 1-3 no limit hold'em, and plus 261 on the slots. And we're gonna move on here. So I did talk to another AP while I was in there, and we talked about a lot of things, and he's trying to get me to go to all these different cities with him, and I'm like, you know, I'm happy with what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get more action, but I don't want to drive 10 hours each way and do an overnight every time in order to go to 1 or 2 casinos, because I can go to 1 or 2 casinos now and do it and be home every day. So but when I'm in Vegas, he'll be out there too. He'll get there the second day that I'm there, and we'll get together and hopefully make some money together as well. Let's see what else. I guess that's it at the moment, and I'll be back to update you soon. So I just got word also that Hulk Hogan died, And Malcolm Jamal Warner, if you know who he is from the Cosby Show, died yesterday. He drowned. He was on vacation with his family, and he drowned. How old was he? Like 45, I think. No, he's got to be maybe 55, something like that. And he drowned. That's so crazy, man. I mean, he probably lived near Hollywood a lot of his life, right? I'm not positive about that, but you'd think they'd know how to handle themselves around water. But that is so crazy. But yeah, Hulk Hogan today had a heck of a life, though. I remember watching as a kid WrestleMania 3, where he picked up Andre the Giant, who was 7'5" allegedly, 525 pounds, and Hulk Hogan had the flu, and he was able to pick him up and slam him down. I mean, no matter how fake wrestling can be, you can't fake picking up someone who's 500 pounds, even if they help you a little bit. You know, if you watch it, he put his hand on his back, but still, you're still lifting 525 pounds of raw flesh. It's so crazy. But Hulk Hogan died at age 71 today. So anyway, I'll be back. All right, guys, as I'm continuing my trip here, it is 90 degrees outside, feels like 102 currently, and I got this little 4-inch fan in the car. But you know what? You got to enjoy the good times. You got to enjoy the bad times. You're going to laugh about it one day. So why not laugh about it today? What's the big deal? You lost a little money. You had a bad day. You're sweating your, what's off. Big deal. Just enjoy yourself. Be happy. Enjoy life. None of it matters in the long run anyway. One day we're all going to be gone. Nobody's going to remember us. Nobody's going to care. What matters is that we had a good life, that we took care of ourselves, and we were happy. Don't stress. Be happy. So I'm sitting here in soup, and it feels like 102 degrees, and I'm feeling fine. I'll be back. All right, guys, stopped by a grocery store and was able to get a 14-pound container of apples, pretty good shape too, for $5. So gonna enjoy some apples right now in the car, have my protein shake, and we're gonna move on. So right now I just so hot. I'm gonna head toward home, I think, and we already have the part that we need now, and we're just gonna throw it in there, see if it works. If it works, then we're all set for tomorrow. If it doesn't work, I will take the car to someone to fix it, and I will get a rental car. So that's the plan right now. That's what's happening right now. Heading toward home. Not sure if we're going to stop anywhere yet, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, we're going to pull over here. I got a meeting starting in about 10 minutes, 8 minutes, and we're going to stop at a gas station, go in, get cooled off a little bit, and then come out to the car and do the meeting. It's definitely extremely hot. We're going to see if we can find some shade so we can do the meeting, and we may be on camera, so we don't want to be sweating. But this is a training that I have to do for this group, and it should be about a half hour long. And yeah, you need to get cooled off first and make sure that I stay cool during the meeting so I don't look too sweaty. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and stopped at a gas station. Sunny and so hot. I got underneath the gas pump area and sat there and did my meeting. And then with about a couple minutes left in the meeting, this guy comes over and knocks on my window and tells me to move. So I'm in the middle of a meeting. I move, and then I come back around and I park in front of him, and I got out of the car and I walked up to him and said, "Is this the only pump that you can use here?" He's like, "Well, I'm trying to get diesel." I'm like, "Are there no other diesel pumps in this gas station? There's 30 pumps in this gas station." And then he like waves his hand at me like, "Whatever." And I said, "You're lucky I'm as nice as I am, because other people might not be that nice." And anyway, whatever. That's just, some people are ignorant. I shouldn't have even said anything to him, because he might be one of those weirdos that does something to somebody. But it really aggravates me when I'm sitting at a gas station. People sit at a gas station all the time, and they go in and they get food, they order food, they wait for food to be ready, they take their time and all that, and then they come back out, and almost every other pump was empty, and he wants me to move. Yeah, a little bit low class, but anyway. Let's see. Okay, well, let's do our segments. I'm heading over to get my car fixed right now. What did you eat today, MW? Today, all I had was a protein shake, some beef jerky so far. Probably have some dinner tonight. I'm not sure what we're gonna have, but that'll be really late, probably like 8 or 9 p.m. by the time I get to this place and by the time I get home. And then what did you tip today, MW? And we had only 2 sessions on a total of 3 tables. Let's see, the first one I made $500 and I tipped 0 on that one. And then the other 2, one was like a $450 loss and the other one like a $500 gain. And on those 2, I tipped $0. So $0 total. And what did you learn today, MW? I guess I learned that waiting until the last minute to fix your air conditioning is not the best thing to do when it feels like 102 degrees outside. This thing has been making a noise since I bought it, but it's been working, and I waited a little bit too long. So we're gonna get it fixed today. Hopefully, if it doesn't work out, we'll go head to the airport, rent a car, and have that while this car gets fixed, and we should be fine. So all that's fine too. Really, I think that's gonna be about it for today. I feel bad that there aren't more places to go to, more ways to make money. But like I keep saying, it's all in the works. We're gonna get there. For now, I'm gonna let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.